Teams for the American team. Will they be allowed to compete?
Stocks tumble. The Dow falls nearly 1,000 points. It's the worst day for the market in 2021. Why the new Delta variant is driving the decline.
In the dark, vendors at the West Side Market speak out about losing power and thousands of dollars over the weekend.
I can. If those people can do it, so can I. Why not?
And meet the woman with multiple sclerosis who is running 172 miles across the state of Ohio to raise money to fight her disease. Thanks for staying with us. What's New starts right now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Well, happy Monday, Northeast Ohio. Thank you so much for choosing What's New. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Sarah Shookman. You're just back from vacation. Jay is on vacation for a few days this week, so get the rust off.
Yeah, exactly. It's that time of year, isn't it? Yeah. You got to take it while the getting is good. And I got some sun last week, and it was good to get away with family, and excited to be back here with you.
Well, we're thrilled you're here with us.
Thank
We're going to get going today with a debate that everybody seems to be talking about. First at 5, mask or no mask? That is the question many parents are asking about the upcoming school year. The CDC said vaccinated kids don't need to wear masks, but today, the top pediatrician group in the country weighed in, and they disagree. The American Academy of Pediatrics is recommending all students over the age of 2 wear masks in the classroom. Brandon Simmons joins us now with more on what this means for the upcoming school year. And Brandon, I got to tell you, I think schools feel like they're caught in the middle, but I think a lot of parents feel like they're caught in the middle right along with them.
Yeah, I think everybody's caught in the middle on this one. When you talk about confusion, schools have been pulled in every direction already this summer when it comes to the vaccine requirements and also masks. So far, this is the clearest answer that they've been given to date. The American Academy of Pediatrics makes it clear that they believe all students should wear masks regardless of vaccination status. And that's the key. This includes all students, vaccinated or not. Now, I spoke to Dr. Amy Edwards. She's a local pediatric infectious disease doctor for University Hospitals, and she says the recommendation makes sense. The AAP's goal is to make sure all kids are back in the classroom, and this is the safest way to do it, as kids under age 12 don't have the vaccine available to them yet.
Just making it a universal across the board, everybody's going to wear a mask is certainly the safest, and it's just the easiest. And school districts can simply point to the AAP and say, hey, the American Academy of Pediatrics has a long history of doing what's best for our kids. We're going to follow them.
Now, schools have multiple sources to consider before making a decision. On Friday, Governor Mike DeWine said he expects to give some very strong guidance to school districts very shortly. Now, on top of everything schools are already paying attention to, a Republican senator introduced a bill that would prohibit schools and universities from requiring masks in schools at all. It's another school year where I think things keep changing, and you can see there are a lot of different things in play here, Betsy.
Well, it's going to be a very interesting three-ring circus in the lead up to the beginning of school. Thanks a lot, Brandon. Appreciate it. Sarah.
Well, now on your feed at 5, the games haven't even started yet, and COVID is already proving to be a problem in Tokyo. An alternate for the USA women's gymnastics team tested positive for the virus.
And she's not the only one. Our sports director, Jimmy Donovan, joins us now with the latest on this. I got to say, Jimmy, we kind of knew this was going to happen, but, you know, what happens with the athletes that do test positive?
Well, I think what's going to happen here, right here on this set, is that I will be here every night at this time.
Saying the same thing?
Absolutely, because I think this number is going to grow. Yeah. So the games are going to go on. There's no doubt about it. But it hit close to home today because it hit a couple of the United States athletes. And we begin with the very, very powerful U.S. gymnastics team. An alternate on that team, 18-year-old Kara Aker, who hails from Kansas City, tested positive for COVID after she arrived in Tokyo. Now, her trail is interesting. She's fully vaccinated. She arrived in Tokyo. She got what they said was a false positive, then a negative test after that, then a series of positive tests. And so she falls under the category that she is positive for COVID. She is being kept in quarantine right now, along with her roommate. Now, keep in mind, she is an alternate. There are 6 competitors for the United States women's gymnastics team, and then 4 alternates. The alternates have been kind of training aside from the 6 regulars on the team anyway, and so that is going to continue to happen. But she is showing no symptoms, but a tough break for for her over in Tokyo. It also hit a basketball player, Katie Lou Samuelson, who played at the University of Connecticut and now plays in the WNBA. She will miss the game. She tested positive for COVID. She was on the United States team in the 3-on-3 basketball sport, which is a first-time sport in these summer games, so she will not compete. And as I walked up here, another case has hit too. On the men's Olympic basketball team, Zach LaVine, who played for Team USA last night in Las Vegas against Spain. Now, he is being kept from traveling to Tokyo, and the men's basketball team was set to fly to Tokyo tonight, okay? He's not going. He's being kept under health protocols. They are not saying whether or not he tested positive for COVID. Now, the women's gymnastics, just let me go back to that, because the United States team is so powerful, and Simone Biles is the headliner of the entire games. She is safe. The team is safe right now. They are good to go, and that competition would begin on Sunday.
Every day they have to take these tests, so there will be more that start to come out.
Absolutely. And of course, it's happening with other countries as they arrive. 4,000 athletes have arrived into the village. At its peak, it will be 11,000.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
And you talk about alternates. I mean, in this case, it's a little bit different, but they probably become more and more important because you know there are going to be some positive cases. So other people are going to get to step in.
And the other thing, too, Sarah, is that not only the alternates, but the coaches, too.
Yeah.
Anyone that was around the young lady, Kara Aker, those coaches, her personal coaches, they have gone into quarantine, too.
Wow.
Okay, Jimmy, thanks so much.
Okay. See you in a bit.
And we will.
Well, a power outage Saturday at the West Side Market is demanding change again. It wiped out thousands of dollars in sales as well. Lindsay Buckingham reports on the frustration.
For more than a century, the West Side Market is where you go for your special dinner items.
Do you want to do steak today?
Or to gather on a weekend with your family and friends.
Ribeyes is always good.
An iconic Cleveland stop supported by the over 100 vendors whose hearts are full by serving you.
Very much so.
But this past Saturday, some shops forced to shut down when the power went out.
It went out, it was out for a while, came back on, lasted maybe a half hour, went out again, came back on for just maybe like 10 seconds, went out again.
For meat vendors like Steve Check Jr. and Don Whitaker, no power means no money.
I figure at least 2,000 in sales. It was a hot, kind of humid day. I didn't want to take a chance and sell something that wasn't right. So I packed it up.
Yeah, we shut down. I lost the whole day's business on Saturday.
They're frustrated because they say the city already knows what they need.
We need a generator. I mean, we've known that for years.
I've been asking for it for 3 years now as the current president. The simple fix, but it's not that simple for the city.
Vendors have had it with the ongoing issues, and local politicians up for mayor this fall took to social media to say they're listening.
It's time for bold, new leadership and direct action to save the market because Cleveland can't wait.
Now, back in May, Cleveland City Council approved more than $2 million in funds for updates to the West Side Market. Some of those improvements include electrical updates. No word yet if they include a generator. In Cleveland, Lindsay Buckingham, 3 News.
And Lindsay did reach out to the city of Cleveland trying to get a response, but we are still waiting for that to happen.
Well, tomorrow's a big day for Jeff Bezos. He and the crew of Blue Origin will fly into space. The rocket is fully controlled from the ground, so there will be no pilots on board, at least active pilots. It's already done 15 of these unmanned test flights, but this is going to be the first time humans are on board. Now, accompanying Mr. Bezos is his brother, as well as 82-year-old veteran pilot Wally Funk. So technically there is a pilot on board. She's just not flying the rocket. And then also 18-year-old Oliver Damon from the Netherlands. Bezos says it's up to Damon's generation to keep the progress in space going.
It's the job of this generation to build that infrastructure. And of course, people said, look, we have so many problems here on Earth, and they're right. And we need to do both. And we've always done both. We need to focus on the here and now, and we need to look to the future.
Well, the crew will be going 62 miles above the surface of the Earth. That is beyond the Kármán line, which is the virtual demarcation of where space begins. Once in space, they'll spend 3 to 4 minutes in weightlessness, floating free. All right, Sarah, big question. Would you do it or not? Would you go up?
I want to be on like the second trip. Maybe not this very first one, but not the end of the line. I think it's really cool. I'm excited to see how it goes. I will be watching tomorrow, but I would have just a bit of hesitation. You?
Well, I think, and that's what a lot of speculation with the millionaire or whoever, put up the $28 million bid for the auction seat that became the 18-year-old kids. They bugged out because they had something on their schedule that was a conflict. And I'm like, that $28 million conflict, it better be really darn good to be able to pop out on that one. I'm most excited for Wally Funk. I think that is the thing. She's one of the original crew of astronauts, one of the 13 women that were trained.
She's been waiting for decades to get to go to space.
Decades. And now her dream gets to come true. Bezos, whatever. I'm so excited that she gets to do this.
I can't wait to hear from her after the experience tomorrow and just what they see.
She will become the oldest person to ever be in space.
The oldest and youngest at the same time.
That's true.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
That is nice.
All right. Well, next here on What's New, she is using her MS diagnoses to keep her moving forward. We'll introduce you to the Cleveland native preparing to run across Ohio.
Then, does Adele have a new boo? Which Cleveland A-lister she was spotted with this weekend?
And Matt's standing by with what's coming up with the forecast here on the ground. Looks a little hazy out there at the moment.
Yeah, we definitely don't need to clear our lens off of the CSU cam. That is haze. This is our third day that we've had these hazy, milky skies with reduced visibility. If you don't know what it is by now, it is wildfire smoke. I'll explain. We've got some cool maps to show you coming up in that forecast. Meanwhile, your outdoor dining forecast looking A-OK today. We have rid the atmosphere of all that heavy rain we've had over the last couple weeks. We have a change in the pattern, but we still have some rainfall forecasts to deal with over the next couple days. We'll bring that to you coming up.
Hey, Mike check Monica, 1, 2, 3, 4. Julie hopes people line the route and cheer her on, blah, blah, blah. I would have had the web story done if they didn't make me do another package for 6.
What?
What?
Not you.
I can't keep up.
Well, as many of us are looking forward to the Olympic Games, we have an incredible, inspirational story that will get even the weekend warriors off the couch.
And that can be hard to do. But senior health correspondent Monica Robbins has the story of a Cleveland native who is planning to run across the state of Ohio. And not only will she run about 30 miles a day, she does it while battling multiple sclerosis.
Julie Burke isn't afraid of going the distance, but her life changed 7 years ago.
When I got diagnosed with MS, my immediate reaction was, oh my gosh, I have to fundraise for this thing. I have to throw money at this. Like I have to do something. I can't just sit here.
She did MS walks, but as a runner, they weren't enough. That's when she found the MS Run the US Relay.
It's an organization that runs from California to New York every summer. Each segment is at roughly 6 marathons in 6 days. And each runner has to raise a minimum of $10,000.
But she'd never even run a marathon, and she has MS. Could she do it?
Mentally, I know I can do it. I've put in all the training miles.
On Sunday, she'll take the baton from the 15th runner in Van Wert, Ohio on the Indiana border and begin the 172-mile, 6-day trek across her home state of Ohio. She knows the July heat will spark her MS symptoms.
I will lose vision in my left eye. My left hand and foot get the pins and needles. Sometimes they go completely numb if it gets really bad. But I've gotten used to that over the years. I know how to run that way. And I know that as soon as I cool off, those will subside. It's not doing permanent damage. So it's just an inconvenience.
She's tried several multiple sclerosis medications, but says running is her best medicine.
The more I exercise, the better I feel.
She'll be monitored by a support team that'll follow her, and she can't wait to run into Cuyahoga Falls, where family and friends will be waiting.
People are out there on the side cheering for you. It just makes all the difference.
I feel really lazy right now. I don't know about you guys, but Julie hopes people are going to line the route and cheer her on when possible. She'll be taking mostly back roads, but some highways too, and she's hoping for some help to reach the $15,000 goal. She's less than $2 grand away, so she's already hit the 10 grand. Now she's hoping to hit 15. She's incredible.
She is. I mean, such an inspiration. And you think about MS and some of the symptoms that can come along with that. What does her doctor say about her putting herself out on the line like this?
Yeah, I asked her, I said, I have to talk to your doctor because, I want to know what your doctor has to say. Her doctor fully supports her.
Wow.
Thinks this is amazing. She says MS impacts people very differently and varied symptoms, and she acknowledged that it's not uncommon for exercise to help patients minimize disability from the disease. An endurance event like this is over the top, but Julie put in the training, the dedication, the discipline, and she understands her body, and she should be an inspiration for all of us to reach our own goals. And yeah, I was wondering if her doctor was okay with this. Absolutely, because Julie understands what she's dealing with, and she has, put in the miles to get to this point. But seriously, about 29 miles a day. Wow. Yeah.
I don't think I even drive 29 miles a day. I'm going to be honest. That's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, sister. So.
Well,
way to
thank
go,
you,
Julie.
Madame.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Love that story ahead of the Olympics, too. Sure. Get folks revved up.
Matt Wins, he's a runner over there, 29 miles a day. What do you think?
Yeah, Monica was saying she puts in the training for that. I mean, training for a marathon's one thing, but 6 marathons in 6 days.
In a row?
You can't, I don't know how you train for that. So that, even by runner standard, is incredible. So definitely rooting her on. Good news, guys. Hey, if it was going on last week, it would have been a very soggy run, but things have changed over the last couple days. I think everyone glad to see the puddles subside, and still some big rivers are still swollen out there, but things are looking much better as we've kind of helped this pattern to flow once again. So getting into it, we've got fire smoke outside, wildfire smoke. We've also got this rainy July we've got going on. In fact, if we didn't get a drop of rain from now until the end of the month, it would still be the 5th wettest July that we've had since records began. You can see where we stand here, 2021, 7.18 inches. We average about 3.5 inches for the month of July. So we still have a couple days to go here, a couple weeks to go. So we'll see where it ends up, but thankfully we are drying things out. Still some isolated downpours. Last night I was tracking a storm through Ashtabula County. This afternoon and evening we're tracking storms through areas of extreme eastern Tuscarawas County. You can see towards Mill. Sherrodsville's been getting a couple downpours, a couple lightning strikes with that as well in southern Carroll County. It's just lingering moisture. It's July. That's what happens. You can see some hodgepodge nature to those, but the main picture has the weather coming out of the northwest. That's a little bit different, right? The big picture across the country, we've got a big old ridge out towards the western U.S. Much needed monsoon rains for areas that are drought stricken. This is the best monsoon in years out towards areas of the Four Corners region. But you can see the amplified pattern. This brings the extremes. So we've got the rather cool weather by July standards for the eastern U.S. The heat continues across the plains and the west. And one of the things that northwest wind is doing is bringing some wildfire smoke in. So this is your smoke where it's been. It's lofted in the atmosphere. No respiratory problems here down at the surface. But you can see over the last 24 hours, we are locked in. Where's this coming from? We've got a couple fires. There's some burning just up towards western Ontario, just north of Minnesota. We've also got some out towards the west, and we're seeing smoke from that. So it gets lofted up in the atmosphere. Jet stream carries it all the way in from the northwest. So we're going to continue to have that wildfire smoke. The MODIS satellite shows us such a great view. This is a normal day of Lake Erie, right? You can see all the way down to the surface from space. This is today, right? Adjust your television because it is just murky outside, and you'll notice that it does help to kind of illuminate our sunsets. You notice the moons had that kind of red tint, and again, that will continue over the next couple of days. In terms of rainfall, not much doing this afternoon and evening. Down towards the south, we'll keep our eye on a couple stray storms. Tomorrow we start sunny. It'll be another beautiful summery day tomorrow. A little bit warmer though, should make it into the mid 80s. We do have some humidity as well, and that may spark just an isolated storm or two. Most of us staying dry, but we have a frontal boundary that'll come in here tomorrow night, and that's going to bring little chance of storms tomorrow night on into Wednesday. Your Union Home Mortgage 7-day forecast, it'll knock our temps down into the 70s Wednesday. We're back up into the 80s with another brief storm chance Thursday night on into Friday. Then the weekend, more of the same. We do turn very summer-like after that. But overall, all these rain chances this week are quick. Nothing's going to linger. That's the good news. Everything's still moving. Betsy?
Yeah, and we are still waterlogged, so the last thing we need right now is more of that rain.
Yeah,
all right, Matt.
You're right.
We'll catch up with you again in about a half hour or so. Coming up for us in the meantime, Britney Spears has a strong message to her dad. What she says about future performances, that's coming up in Pop Break.
And this raccoon is going viral. What has him so embarrassed? Ahead in our Worth the Watch.
Very bad day.
I am Al.
Okay, it's pop break time. Adele makes a rare public appearance alongside a Cleveland A-lister. Bridgerton's second season is put on pause, and Britney Spears is setting the record straight again about future performances. Here's Kiera Cotton with all the details.
And the Britney Spears conservatorship drama continues. The 39-year-old singer most recently posted to Instagram that she's not going to be performing on any stages anytime soon, especially with her dad handling what she wears, says, does, and thinks. But she's still singing and dancing from the comfort of her home and with those she loves. Her boyfriend Sam shared a video over the weekend of the pop star singing her hit song Lonely as they're driving in a car. And it appears the upcoming social season will just have to wait. Filming for season 2 of Netflix's Bridgerton has been halted indefinitely after 2 people tested positive for COVID-19. The decision to halt production comes after a 24-hour pause last week when the first case was confirmed on set. While the first case was a crew member, it's unknown whether the second is an actor or a crew member. But due to the indefinite nature, many speculate that it may be an actor. The UK, where the romance show is being filmed, is currently experiencing a surge in infections due to the highly contagious Delta variant. And we're rolling in the deep about this next story. Singer Adele was spotted during a rare public appearance at the NBA Finals game on Saturday. And the sultry songstress wasn't alone. She was spotted courtside with Cleveland native and agent to some of the best players in the game, Rich Paul. And rumor has it, according to multiple outlets, the two are in fact dating. News of Adele's new potential romance comes just 4 months after finalizing her divorce from Simon Konecki.
Now, for me personally, it doesn't matter who she's dating. She looks great, and she appears to be happy, and quite frankly, that's all that matters. But in true consumer fashion, I would be remiss if I wasn't anticipating new music. I need to hear the sadness. I need to hear all that she's been through.
Well, I'm sure she's working on that in the background, or at least let's hope, right?
Yeah.
But I thought it was kind of cool this year with Rich Paul. I was like, oh, look at us, we know him.
Yeah, he's a familiar face. And then, you know, the whole thing becomes, what's her music going to become? Because it was all that gut-wrenching emotion.
The rage, right?
Right there. And is it now going to turn and be happy and pop again?
I don't think so. We've got 6 years to still get through, guys, of everything that she's been going through. I'm just going to, fingers crossed, we can still do this.
There's a lot to unpack still.
Right,
is what you're saying. Okay, good material.
She can tap into that.
Definitely. Well, do you like raccoons? Because this story is actually super cute. We have a cute little friend to show you. He made his way into a home in Georgia and needed some help getting out. So area firefighters helped the little raccoon find his way back into the wild, but you can tell he's pretty embarrassed. This little guy was covering his face and has now been shared almost 2,000 times. I mean, that is a very bad day, right? I'm lost.
It's a rough day.
Stuck in somebody's house. These giant men in these big coats came and got me and are carrying me.
I'm just impressed how cute he looks there, because you tell me a raccoon is in my house, I don't have this same warm, fuzzy feeling.
I'm calling you from the street, telling you there's a raccoon in my house, and I will not be going back.
There's a raccoon in my garbage can. I'm calling you from the street. I'm still having this same like, oh no, get rid of it. You know, but now I'm sort of feeling for him. It's making me a little emotional.
It's somebody else's problem. That's pretty much the best part of the story there. All right, coming up for us for the next half hour of What's New, Team USA has some powerhouse players, especially women. We're going to take a look at what to expect from our female teams that are competing in Tokyo.
I like that, the girl power today. And then say goodbye to the Angels, which Victoria's Secret store scrubbed all Angels from its decor, and what's next for the company.
And Netflix is going to get into the gaming business. Will it impact your monthly bill? We have all the details ahead in our Money Monday segment. That's coming up.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
Well, let's get you caught up on 3 things you need to know now at 5:30. There is a call for change at Cleveland's iconic West Side Market. A power outage on Saturday forced some vendors to close, forfeiting thousands of dollars in sales. According to those who run Kate's Fish, the market does not have a generator for the refrigeration systems. That means frozen and cold food was not protected. Several mayoral candidates addressed this issue on social media. Dennis Kucinich, Justin Bibb, and Zach Reed all said we need to do more to protect the West Side Market. We have their statements on WKYC.com.
The American Academy of Pediatrics has new recommendations for kids returning to school this fall. The AAP says anyone 2 years and older should wear a mask, even if they're vaccinated. And this is different from the CDC guidelines. Those say students who are vaccinated don't have to mask. The AAP says because a significant portion of students aren't yet eligible for the vaccine, everybody should mask to reduce transmission. The AAP is also recommending in-person learning this school year.
And finally, the Olympic ceremony is just 4 days away now, and Team USA is dealing with COVID concerns. Kara Aker, an alternate on the U.S. gymnastics team, tested positive for the virus. She and another replacement are now separated from the team. At least 2 other American athletes didn't go to Tokyo because they tested positive for COVID. All athletes are tested every day, whether they are vaccinated or not. And as Jimmy joined us just a few minutes ago, he said, get ready, because there's probably going to be more of these positive cases popping up in, 11,000 athletes, he said, are going to be there?
Of it, right?
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And on that note, we welcome you back to What's New. I'm Betsy Kling alongside Sarah Shookman, who's co-piloting the next few days with me as Jay is off.
We are getting so excited for the Olympics because Friday is the big day around here. All the athletes are there, the journalists are there. Things are really getting moving, and the Olympics have everybody talking. So that is today's top talker. Just how dominant the women of Team USA are.
In fact, this is not anything new. Female American athletes have long rocked the Olympics. We dominated in Rio. And as Corey Robinson explains, this Olympics is not expected to be any different.
How do you define domination?
She is a 4'8" giant.
Maybe it's a blend of power and precision that's produced 3 gold medals in a row.
It's about the history, it's about the legacy, and this Team USA Women's 8 is something sensational.
Perhaps it's near perfection in the pool.
We may be able to use a D word soon with this team. Dynasty in the pool.
It could be 5 teammates wowing the world with strength and grace.
Wow. We call each other family, and we just want to do the best that we can when we're with each other.
Get the gold medals ready again.
Dominance might mean a streak of 6 straight Olympic titles to build upon a dynasty.
I mean, there's so much hard work that goes into it. And for us, we're kind of a team that's just really thrown together, and we're just trying to make it work. And when we finally do, it's extremely satisfying. There's really no better feeling.
The United States women's Olympic basketball team showing perfection here in Rio.
In a dazzling display at the Rio Games, 65 American women won gold as part of a team, and they continue to crush their competition on the world stage.
Katie Ledecky smashes her own world record.
Leaving us looking toward Tokyo to see what they can marvel us with next.
Gosh, kids be going. And you can watch the opening ceremony live right here on 3. Friday starts at 7 a.m. with the time change and all. But the celebration will then re-air during prime time at 7:30.
Yeah, we were actually just talking about how are we going to make it, it's 16 hours ahead in Tokyo time. So we're trying to figure out, Matt and I were just talking about this not too long ago. How are we going to frame out the weather? Because when we're telling you the weather has already happened, and just trying to figure that out. But follow along, everybody. We'll take care of you right here on Channel 3.
And we've got it all online, too. So
Yeah.
if you want to see events live, with the time change, it's going to make a lot of sense to probably catch them there on social media, things like that. But we'll have the recap every night here, too. So you can see all the best moments. And I kind of like you might get to see it twice.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's an interesting kind of back and forth with the Team USA and the other teams and how everything shakes out. So there's some old rivalries that are coming back, and it's going to be real interesting to see how that goes. Well, speaking of females, Victoria's Secret decided to scrub all Angel photos and videos from its flagship store in Manhattan ahead of its reopening. According to the Daily Mail, there will no longer be an Angel museum on the 3rd floor of the store. The company plans to get rid of Angels from other stores, too. Now, the change comes amid allegations of prejudice against women and sexual harassment at the lingerie company. Victoria's Secret is also said to be moving towards size-inclusive models and mannequins. Big change expected to be happening there as they start to kind of move into that more inclusive environment.
Yeah, I think it makes sense, you know, that this is not only that they're addressing it at this time, but before they reopen in New York, they go ahead and make that switch, because I'm sure that store is, it's a focus for them, as is all of these different stores around the country. But to start there, to make the change, and let's see that happen. You know, other stores, if you think of like Aerie and some of these American Eagle, they've already gone that route, and people love it. It's a lot easier to shop for bathing suits when you're seeing it on a real person than on these Angel models.
Right, the 5'11", 120-pound, perfect people.
Not quite like,
that is
not what I look like.
Non-attainable by 99.9% of the population. Just saying. It's just a fact. Anywho, not that I'm salty about that or anything.
Let's move on, do you say? Still ahead here on What's New. One of the Indians' most eligible bachelors is officially off the market. We have the latest in engagement news.
Can you tell I want a piece of cake? I just want to have sugar and cake and icing and delicious things. Then coming up for us, everybody, it's Money Monday. Teachers, we have the stores that are going to save you money on supplies this year, and how parents can give back to teachers while you are shopping too, and what this is all going to mean for the bottom line, meaning your bill. Also, you know, school shoes, that whole thing. We need raincoats for the kids as they're back to school shopping. I don't know. What do you think, Matt?
I don't know. Emmy's going to kindergarten. We don't know what we're doing.
It's an experiment when you get rained on, right?
I guess so. We finally signed her up. Principal's like, where you been? Anyway, there you go. You notice the haze across the CSU cam. More rain stats for you. One of the things looking good are area lawns. We've had over 7 inches of rain so far this July. It's the rainiest start to July since records began back in the late 1800s. How about that? Where will we finish? And what about rain chances this week? We'll discuss on the other side of the break.
Hello, mic check. In Clicking in Cleveland today, we're talking about Shane Bieber's engagement to his girlfriend, Kara. It's a little muffled. You want me to go to the camera now? Is that what you're saying? Okay. Yep.
All right, time for another checkup on the weather. And you know, we have had all of that rain. Ooh. Well, all that rain works its way down into the waterfalls of Northeast Ohio eventually. And these are the falls from Cascade Park in Elyria. This is a scene that everybody's seeing. Brandywine Falls, Chagrin Falls, all of our little nooks and crannies are full of water right now. And eventually all that water kind of makes it into the bigger and bigger and bigger tributaries and out into Lake Erie, or folks farther south down to eventually the Ohio River. But there is a lot of water moving through Northeast Ohio, Matt, and it's so nice to get this couple of days to dry out.
I thought that was video of my grass seed I just laid about 2 weeks ago, just heading right down the road.
Your grass seed is now in Toronto.
Yeah, fantastic. You know, that brings up a good point. Last summer and most summers, people, love to explore our wonderful metro parks, and you get out, you go to Brandywine Falls, and there's usually not a waterfall. It's kind of disappointing. Boy, this summer's been great for that. You're right, outside of the flooding and, too much of a good thing, we can get some really nice hikes and some great pictures in this time of year as well. So rain, not always bad. And grass is looking green outside as well. It typically gets that nice shade of brown this time of year. So, days like today, Betsy, are days that we certainly can enjoy things. You've got the summery feel. We've got a really nice week shaping up. A couple of little rain chances here and there that we'll talk about, but they'll be very fleeting in the forecast. Want to show this to you again. I just tweeted this out in case you missed it. This is a MODIS high-res satellite of Lake Erie. This is on a normal, clear day. Look at what it looks like today. This is that milky sky you're dealing with. This is smoke in the atmosphere from wildfires well off towards our west. The smoke forecast from here, we're in it pretty thick now. We've got another little wave expected to come in here tomorrow. We may get some clearing on Wednesday. We've got a little frontal boundary. You see that push coming in from the north, but this is all originating in Canada and the Pacific Northwest. You can see the jet stream pattern takes it up over the ridge and down in the trough eastern half of the country. So we've got more of this to come as we go throughout the summer, especially if those fires continue. They are getting much needed rain out west, not in Oregon and California, unfortunately. Temperatures, though, with a pattern like that, when you have the heat out towards the west, the eastern half of the country has had a very cool summer, relatively speaking. Atlanta, last time they hit 90 degrees was weeks ago. It has been extremely cool down there by southern standards. For us, we're in the 70s and 80s, not a bad place to be. The major heat right now out in Montana, Billings up into 106, 107 degree territory, likely setting records that are about 80 years old today. You can see the ridge, much needed moisture. This is monsoon season. This is when they get it out towards the west. We're mainly clear locally, but you can see the pattern, everything coming at us from the northwest. Get used to this. This is going to happen over the next week. We get these quick fronts that drop through New England. They'll bring us just a fleeting chance of some storms, and then they'll move on out. National Design Mart big picture look at the rest of the week. This is what we're looking at. Next chance of rain, not much of one, arrives tomorrow later in the day. As the frontal boundary drops through, we may have a lingering chance on Wednesday. Otherwise, we're dry. Most areas will be dry from that. Next better chance arrives Thursday into Friday. Another system zips through, and you can see they keep coming at us from the northwest. So in terms of precip, we don't have a lot of rain heading our way, and that's some good news. We could certainly use the drying out, and that is nice to see right where the heart of the drought is, out towards the west. In terms of humidity, we get a little bit of comfort in here Wednesday, Thursday, then we're back into that muggy pattern. Next week does look pretty summery around here. 7-day forecast brought to you by Union Home Mortgage. 85 is summery day tomorrow. We'll have that hazy atmosphere around. Late day storm chance. 77 cooler behind the front on Wednesday. Next shot at rain arrives Thursday night, Friday. And then again on the weekend. Not a washout this weekend, but something to wash. Right now, it does look like Sunday is our rainier day out of the two. So we'll continue to fine tune that. A lot of people with plans this time of year. We're aware.
Well, we're going to have to check that muggy me. I don't know if I believe it. I'm so locked in on this humidity anymore. I don't even know if that extra comfortable day is coming.
That little dip, we'll see. It's definitely more dippy today than it was last night. So
more dippy.
We'll see.
Quit getting so technical, Matt.
So
all
dippy.
Right. Thank you so much. We'll catch up with you again at 7.
I do love that muggy meter. Time now to check to see what's clicking in Cleveland. And for that, we bring in our digital anchor, Stephanie Haney. Hi, Stephanie. Happy Monday.
Hi, Sarah. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday, everybody, today at home. We got good news today from the comedy troupe behind True TV's Impractical Jokers. They revealed they are coming to Cleveland. They call themselves the Tenderloins. It's James Murray, Brian Q. Quinn, Joe Gatto, and Sal Volcano. And they're bringing the Scoopski Potatoes Tour to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. They'll share never-before-seen videos and stand up on December 29th with tickets going on pre-sale on Wednesday and available to everyone on Friday. There are links to buy them and the full 40-city lineup on WKYC.com. And today we say congratulations to Tribe pitcher Shane Bieber and his fiancée, Kara Cavahex. The two got engaged on Saturday in San Francisco when the Tribe was out west playing the Oakland Athletics in the Bay Area. Shane posted photos of the moment he popped the question, and he wrote on Instagram, "Forever my girl." And his designer fiancé shared the same photos, writing, "I always knew." The two met in Santa Barbara, where Shane pitched in college at UC Santa Barbara. Congratulations to the happy couple. And the Cleveland Browns are partnering with the American Red Cross again to host their First and 10 blood drive. People who donate blood during the drive get a commemorative Browns t-shirt while supplies last, and also have the chance to win Browns memorabilia. Now you can schedule your appointment in one of the 3 ways you see on your screen here. Call, go online, or use the American Red Cross Blood Donor app. This is Saturday, July 31st from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 12 different locations, including First Energy Stadium. And what's particularly cool about this, Sarah and Betsy, is even if you're not in the area, you can still get in on that competition. You can record a video of yourself donating blood, and they have a link with how to explain to do it and upload it and get in on that contest on WKYC.com.
Such an important thing to do, most certainly.
Blood has been so needed this year, too. So, yeah, get in if you can.
And stay right there, because I'm going to brag on you a little bit. Stephanie single-handedly put together a really fun day yesterday for those of us here at Channel 3. We got together to have a good old-fashioned softball game, the WKYC Summer Softball Classic. And yes, Stephanie did put the whole thing together. 2 teams, the Lakeside Legends, faced the Downtown Dynamos. And in the end, yes, the Dynamos won 27-2. Things did get a little competitive at times. It was kind of interesting. We did have a blast, though. And yeah, there's a lot of people that are hobbling around the newsroom today. Oh, you're sore, yeah, I'm sore, and all that. And I do have to say, there's me, I'm down. And notice who's behind me. That would be Mike Polk. This is seconds after Mike decided to just jack the ball into the back of my skull. Literally, he threw the ball at the back of my head. This is how the apology went. Right after all of that. So he did come and apologize. But I told him, I'm so excited that you did that. Yes, it hurt, but I now have this to hold over your head forever and ever and ever.
You do. You're going to have to laud that over him for sure. And quite the injured list from yesterday.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, it got a little cutthroat. There's broken nails. There's pulled muscles. I discovered I have hip flexors. I thought those were gone long ago. No, they're here. They hurt a lot. So
yeah, I'm feeling some things I haven't felt in a while. That's for sure. It was a lot of fun. I'm so glad that everyone came out, and it was a great time. And I hope we get to do it again soon.
Oh, I'm in next year. I know it was a lot more fun than driving home from the beach. I'll tell you that much in the car
with the baby.
I missed out, and I'm sad about it. But I had to find out who was competitive and how did it go. And I mean, just because it was so much fun getting everybody together and outside the building. It's been such a long time since we've gotten to do that.
It has. And as companies are coming back together, this is definitely something. Try and do some of these cool things, because I saw people I haven't seen since 18 months.
I met some people for the first time because we've had new people come in and things over, when we've been working at home. So it was really great to see all those faces.
Important. Thank you for doing that.
You
did a great job. We had a lot of fun. Next for us here on What's New, it is Money Monday. Netflix is adding video games to their lineup. What we know about how that is going to impact your monthly bill.
And then check out these sand sculptures. All the details on where you can find them in our backyard and which one won a local competition.
right, everybody, it is Monday for us, and we begin with stocks closing down more than 700 points. It was the worst day for the market so far this year. Investors say they're spooked by the rise in COVID cases, specifically the spread of the Delta variant. Now, as we mentioned earlier, COVID cases in the U.S. were up by 70% in a single week last week, causing concerns we could see a slowdown in the economy again if businesses are forced to close down. Now, despite the fall today, the market is still up more than 10% so far in 2021.
Okay, teachers, this offer is for you. Staples is offering a 20% discount on some in-store purchases now through the end of September. The office supply store also launched a classroom rewards app, which gives parents the opportunity to give a percentage of their qualifying order back to an enrolled teacher or school administrator of their choice. And Target is also offering back-to-school discounts. Educators get 15% off some supplies through the end of the month.
And tax-free weekend is coming up in August. The next Netflix is expanding its interactive entertainment options because apparently they don't have enough. According to Bloomberg, Netflix hopes to offer video games within the next year. Now, they previously have made some interactive programming that stopped short of being a true video game. It was a choose-your-own-adventure type of a thing that was a version of Carmen Sandiego, which is an iconic kids show. As of now, the company will not charge extra for the content once it is made available. I feel like Netflix is just doing everything. They aren't stopping with just the videos. Now they're the production company, and now video games, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
It's like a quality over quantity sometimes thing. I can't even figure out what I want to watch next, and you don't have to anymore because you can just click watch something, play something.
What is that? Have you done that?
Yes.
Does it work?
I mean, to find something you want to watch, I guess that's sort of debatable, but it picks something in its like top 10, I think, that it might, the algorithm says you might like.
Yeah. So
it is sort of an educated guess, but it's overwhelming. We open it, we get like decision paralysis, and we're just like, that's fine, go to bed,
I can't even imagine what that find it for you thing would do for us, because we've got everything from like Storybots and My Little Ponies to...
You got to do the individual profiles so it knows like, oh, this is why
we need the mommy one.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, got it.
All right, still ahead for us, the beautiful sand sculptures in Northeast Ohio. All the details on where and which one received top honors.
Then coming up on What Matters Most at 6, parts of the country are seeing spikes in COVID cases. Senior health correspondent Monica Robbins takes a look at where Ohio stands and what we all need to know before panicking.
And on this day in history, the women's suffrage movement began in the U.S. So what year did it begin? Was it 1848, 1902, or 1919? The answer when we come back.
Governor's office. They should make their own decision.
Yeah, I'm still here. Check 1, 2, still here. Brandon checking in. Checking in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is Brandon's microphone. We're talking about vaccine requirements in schools. Still something.
I am testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Walking up right now. Good evening, I'm Russ Mitchell. Laura Casey is off tonight. We're going to jump in COVID numbers in Ohio. The state reported 660 new cases in the past 24 hours. Okay.
I used to have Noah. Yes, I do. Mic check, Monica. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Before the break, we asked you, which year did the women's suffragette movement begin? Was it 1848, 1902, or 1919? The answer, I believe, is 1848. 1919 finally got the right to vote, but it took a long time, didn't it?
Definitely did.
1848.
1848. Now you know. All right, today's Show Us Something Good comes to us from Menor. The Headlands Beach Fest returned after a 2-year hiatus that just happened over the weekend. Several activities were planned, including the Ohio Master Sand Sculpting Competition. 3 world champion sand sculptors built larger-than-life creations over 3 days. And according to the city's Facebook page, Karen Freilich won for her cat family sculpture that you see right there. Pretty cute stuff. Those are not like little tiny sand castles. These are like big ones.
These are awesome.
Yeah.
And they're right here. So go check them out, especially because it sounds like the weather might cooperate. They might be there for a little while.
They could be, yeah. Now, is this what you and Isla and Angelo did at the beach?
No, we don't have that kind of talent. Isla was eating some fistfuls of sand.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Still interacting. It's all good.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us today for What's New.
That's right. What Matters Most with Russ starts right now.
Now at 6, COVID concerns. Cases are rising across the U.S. We'll delve into how things are looking here in Ohio. Plus, new details on masking recommendations for kids 1 month out from the start of the new school year. Also, athletes testing positive.
There is no such thing as zero risk, and that we all agree.
Several Olympians are quarantined after they test positive for COVID-19. Jimmy Donovan weighs in on what happens next and how it will impact Team USA. No power. Vendors at the West Side Market continue to voice their frustrations after a major power outage over the weekend. And reaching for the stars. Meet the woman who's been aiming for space for the past 50 years as she prepares to blast off tomorrow.
From the WKYC studios, this is What Matters Most.
And good evening. I'm Russ Mitchell. Laura is off tonight. We begin with a jump in COVID numbers in Ohio. The state reporting 660 new cases in the past 20